I wasn't, you know, one of the cool kids in school.
So what was the biggest challenge you faced during your, I guess, transformation? Like, how'd you overcome it? Like, from going from, like, chubby, self-conscious kid to, like, where you're at now?
Through it those first 2 months and, like, the time after that, I feel like wasn't very challenging because I was so motivated.
I feel like the most important thing is sustainability. I ate the Happy Meal menu, basically, for 11 years.
That's probably the same for me, honestly. Like, so those 6 days of the week, I was, like, not eating super clean as I wanted to.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people of all ages and everything else in between, welcome to, I still don't know what episode this podcast is, of the Start Yesterday podcast. I am your host, Adam, aka Puffy, aka Puffy Got Puffy, and I'm here with a person. His name is Eitan.
Yep, that's me. AKA, I have no AKA, but I'll think of something.
The Ferkstein bear.
That works.
That's like the Bernstein bear, but like, not.
I hear Frankenstein a lot of the time, but I don't know if I like that one. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
You gotta work on that.
Yeah, I know. I'll think of something.
Do something stupid and then like stick with it.
In the middle, it'll come to me and I'll just fucking blurt it out.
Anyways, I'm here with him. And so basically, he's the first guest I've ever had that reached out to me to be on the podcast. So shout out to you. Well, basically, to start every podcast, I like to ask people for their sob story. So, yeah, what's your sob story?
Wow, my sob story. Okay, so, man, high school. I'm pretty fat. I have no confidence. My self-esteem is extraordinarily low. I hated everything, and I honestly just I don't want to. I guess it's a sob story, so I can
doom and gloom, baby.
I can bring it down. Like, I really, didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I didn't know if I wanted to live it anymore.
Wonderful.
And I didn't know what to do, but I came to a point where I was going to my senior year of high school, and I was like, you know what? I know I want to get in the best shape. Like, I don't want to be fat anymore. Was pretty much what it is. So I was like, I'm gonna go to the gym every day, and I'm gonna look online and do my best to like get in good shape. And I had no idea what that meant or what it was going to look like. So I did this like stupid diet of like, oh yeah, no carbs, like only meat and veg, and starve myself for a while, but like go to the gym every day and train really hard and then like have a weekly cheat day and whatever. It worked out. I lost a ton of weight and I got pretty fucking lean. How much weight
did you lose?
I lost in 2 months almost 30 pounds. So yeah, it was good. I started out I was like around 180, 185. I was just like chubby, like didn't work out, like not really much muscle tone. And by the time I got to like in the 150s, but I was like, listen, I was lean, but I don't think it was like healthy at that point, especially my frame being like 150 pounds was like, it didn't look good at that point. But I, for the first time ever in my life, felt good with my shirt off. I felt like I could look in the mirror. I felt like in the change rooms in gym class, I could get changed and not think like everyone's looking at me and everyone's, my self-esteem was so low for my entire life that even something as simple as having my good friends over, to go swimming was like, I couldn't do that because I felt like garbage. And so finally, for the first time of my life, I felt comfortable in my own skin, and I've never had that feeling before, and it changed my life, and it literally saved my life, I would say. And then I just slowly fell in love with bodybuilding and with fitness and working out. I also was just like never good at sports. I never was good at really anything except video games. I was pretty good at that, but it was nice to I found a field of something that I was good at and I was excelling at, and like I was getting strong, and people were asking me like, oh, what do I do? What do you do? What do you eat? What do you train? What do I do for this to get this bigger? And I was like, holy shit, like I'm actually good at something. Like this, people are asking my advice on something. Like I never thought this would happen ever. I had all my friends who were like these like star athletes and great at sports and whatever, and they were so cool. And I was like this fat, chubby kid who couldn't talk to girls and like could barely look at myself in the mirror. I couldn't look at, if I'm walking by the car and I see my reflection through the car window, I look away. So, it really changed my life. And I feel like I owe it to fitness, to the gym, to bodybuilding, to weightlifting, to give back. And so,
Amen.
that's, I'm the only one to reach out because I feel like it's my due diligence to even if there's one person that I can inspire to change their life and try the gym and try fitness out, and it saved my life and maybe you could save someone else's. So
Amen.
yeah.
Can I get a hallelujah up in this bitch?
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't love yourself, how the fuck you gonna love somebody else? Shout out to RuPaul.
Mhm.
But yeah, that reminded me. I don't know why I have ADHD, but there was a song by Sean Kingston. It was like you're way too beautiful, and then
yeah.
you'll have me suicidal. Yeah. So when
Yeah.
you started talking about that, I don't know why the song started playing in my head.
It's a good song.
It's great. It's a great song. It's a banger. He's broke now. He's like bankrupt, but that's
Is that Sean Paul? No, that's Sean Kingston.
yeah,
dude.
Sean Kingston. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Sean Paul.
No, Sean Kingston. He's like broke as fuck now.
Yeah.
He has like one hit wonder, but yeah, I love it when people are like, I gotta get in shape because like well, I used to say I am in shape. I'm a giant circle. Right.
Ah, yeah.
But no, I mean, what the fuck does that mean? But like, it sounds like you tried not like the greatest diet, but then you probably figured out what was like more sustainable for you, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not even like you try something and you learn from it and you realize it's wrong, and you're like, you think, oh, I've got it now. I know what to do.
Yeah.
I know everything. And you like, bro, I fell on my face so many fucking times in the past so many years, like trying shit, thinking I know now what to do, and it doesn't work. And it's a continuous learning cycle. I've been doing this for like 6 years now, I want to say.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that I've been like really, and the past 3 years have been really intense with like bodybuilding and, tracking all my calories and macros and planning all my training and tracking my cardio and this and that. Like, so the past 3 years have been a lot more intense. It's been 6 years of just like training and fitness and whatnot. But yeah, dude, I thought I learned from that. And then, I still had my first competition, my first prep, that was even worse. So I had to learn from that as well. And even my last competition that I just did, I thought I had everything figured out. About halfway through, I was like, I had to go back to the drawing board and figure shit out because it was wrong. And it's really easy, I think, when you're trying to diet and you're so laser focused on like losing weight and like, I need to lose weight, I need to get lean, I need to blah 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 blah, that you go overboard and you want to get it done as fast as possible and you want to get lean and you're like get obsessed with the results that you're like, I don't give a fuck about how I feel, like I'm going to push through, especially on your first time cutting. Like you're just like, I'm gonna do whatever it fucking takes. And you get lost in the sauce, man, and it could develop some bad eating habits, and it could, kind of fuck you up mentally a little bit, fuck your relationship with food. It definitely did for me. But you learn from it and you move forward, and that's like half the fun, is learning. And so, yeah, that first diet, I remember going to sleep hungry most nights, and in the back of my mind, I'm just like, this is what gets you lean. This is what you got to do, bro. Like, if you're not going to bed hungry, you are not doing it right, And like later on, I was like, all right, that was fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's not good.
So, yes, there's a proper way to diet and there's a wrong way to diet.
So I'm curious, like, what you and I had obviously like similar in terms of like high school self-esteem, like not liking that, like, kind of what became the turning point, or like what was the aha moment, the epiphany, like what got you to change?
What got me to like get into fitness, or like what got me into like what aspect of it?
Just what was like the moment you wanted to change? Because it sounds like we had a lot of similarities. Like you struggled for a while. I literally couldn't see my dick in the mirror. Right.
Yeah, I didn't get
you
to
never
that
got
point.
to that. You never got
super.
You never got grande puffy.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's still the same. Mine was just like a higher degree, but it was still a lot of similarities.
Right. No, for sure. I think so. I always wanted to. I remember like every summer, I'd have this conversation with myself, and I'd be like, "This is it. This is the summer you're going to fucking change." And it didn't happen. It wouldn't happen. I just couldn't or I tried for like a week-ish, half-assed it for a little bit, and then just gave up. And at this point, I was like, I think it was just, I thought I was running out of time. It was like, I'm going into my senior year of high school. Like, I don't know what's going to happen after this. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it into university. I was a shit student. I didn't, that 11th grade for me, that junior year of high school was like, again, it was really dark and it was really depressing, and like I didn't know where my life was gonna go or if it was gonna go for I don't know how long. And I was like, if I don't do this now, then who knows if it's ever gonna happen. So I was like, fuck it, this is it. This is it. It's my last year of high school. Like I'm fucking sending it, and that I just have to do it now because I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to do it again. And that was it. It was just kind of like I got scared, and I was like, if you don't, it's now or never. And I just dove right in. And honestly, I also had a buddy of mine that was in a bit of a similar boat. Like he was like body weight wise, he was like a little bit chubby like me, and like he wanted to lose weight and whatever. I don't think he definitely didn't deal with a lot of like the mental health shit that I think that I dealt with that kind of came with that. But he was still someone who wanted to like, he was chubby for most of his life, and he like wanted to get lean and wanted to know what it was like. So we did it together, which honestly helped a lot. Having someone else there with you that, you're going through the same shit and you can kind of relate and you can kind of hold yourself accountable. I think now, like with my bodybuilding, I'm on like a team, and honestly, it's so dope because going into prep with somebody else, I haven't done it yet, but now that like moving forward, like just being able to share those dark moments or like have someone that's there going through the same shit with you, it makes things a lot easier. So having him do it with me was a lot easier too. But yeah,
I think that's a good point. With it's not just like working out, but it could be with anything in life. When you have some type of accountability and motivation factor, it's a huge proponent. I mean, recently I started going to jujitsu, and if it wasn't for my buddy basically dragging me there, I mean, he didn't literally drag me there, but like he strongly encouraged me to go, I wouldn't have gone. I think some people need that initial inertia to like kind of kickstart their journey, whatever it is. But it also is a matter of like who you hang out with, who you socialize with, who you have in your circle, because you need people that are going to push you to be better, do better, and want you to be better. Like I'm not one for like fake bullshit. If I say something wrong or if I offend you, like my friends will tell me, or it's like if I tell I don't typically diet, but if I did, I'd have to tell my friends to basically make sure like I don't fuck up. And I'm sure if I did, they would be like, yo, Adam, like don't eat that. You're on a diet. You know what I mean? It's really important that you have people that actually want you to be better. Because if you don't, it's just a lonely island. Right. And then if you don't have any friends, then you probably hire like a coach or a trainer to kind of help you with that. It's one of the biggest things like people want my help with is like accountability, motivation.
yeah, for
The
sure.
knowledge is another aspect. Obviously, that's a huge proponent of it. But like making someone like holding someone accountable is super, super important.
Yeah, and I think just having like good friends, kind of what you were saying, is a big proponent of that too. I mean, when I was doing this in high school with my buddies, the other friends that I had that were close with me that knew we were doing this diet thing, like they knew, and they'd be like, "Oh, yo, like should we go out for food?" Blah blah blah, and it's like, "Oh shit, no, your cheat day's on Saturday. We'll do it on Saturday," kind of thing. Like they were there for us, and they were like great help, and they knew like not to. They tried their best to like be there for us and help us out and like understand. Versus like when I went to university my first 2 years, I was in a frat and whatnot. I was like pledging my first year, and like they don't give a fuck about your diet goals, bro. Like you're a fucking pledge, So they're like, drink this fucking alcohol, drink this, like eat this, like blah blah blah. And I'm just like, like I'm not really trying to drink so much. I'm not really trying to like eat. I'm trying to watch my figure, and it's like, fuck you, pledge. Like I don't give a shit, like And I made that decision to do that to myself, obviously, but it kind of gives you like you have to have understanding of who you're surrounding yourself with, and are they helping me or are they not helping me.
Well, that doesn't sound
it was not helpful at all, but like that was a choice that I made. So
do you regret it?
No.
Well, who cares?
Yeah, but I just kind of like, so people are aware of the differences.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Personally, if that was me, I don't like people telling me to do stuff that I don't want to do, so I wouldn't have gone through with it. But I never had the dynamic of like the university of like, I don't even know what a pledge is. It's like when they like whip you with a wooden paddle.
So pretty much in order to get into the fraternity, you have to do a pledge, which is almost like you are tested for the semester, where there's like all these challenges and all these like all this shit you have to do.
They just make you have alcohol poisoning.
Pretty much, that's like half of it, I would say. Kappa Omega chapter is not a pledging fraternity, by the way. Just like to make that clear.
I don't know what that means.
We don't pledge.
Oh, okay.
We
because there was like an instance where like a kid died or some shit, right?
many instances. Not at ours. We're not a pledging fraternity. There's no pledging goes on at our fraternity. I'm not in the frat anymore, but it's fine. But yeah, so it's like, so they call them pledges. So once you're like testing, you're in your first year typically, you're a pledge, and pretty much you do whatever you're told in order to get in the fraternity. And at that point, you're just like excited. Like I remember for me, again, like coming from someone who's like a bit of an like maybe not a nerd or a loser, but like I wasn't, one of the fucking cool kids in school. And you go to the first frat party. It's your first week of university, and there's like all these hot chicks and guys standing on the fucking roof, like, and keg stands and this huge party, and you're like, holy shit, man! Like, I want this. Looks fucking cool. So you're just like, I will do whatever the fuck it takes to be a part of this.
That's overwhelming, man.
Yeah. So and then
sounds like a lot of alcohol.
It was way too much alcohol. Now I mean, at that point, I was probably like getting drunk like 4 times a week.
That's sad.
Yeah, it was. And that went on to my second year too. And it was tough to stop. And then honestly, because I started getting really into bodybuilding and I found out how fucking bad alcohol is for you, I was like, all right, we gotta maybe like once a week is good. And then it even became less than that over time. So, because in prep, you can't have any alcohol.
Not really.
So,
well, especially you're so lean.
Well, you can.
No, but bro, like that's like it's so empty calories, and then you're so lean. You get like one shot, you're dizzy.
Yeah. Well, a big thing is one, like alcohol lowers once you get drunk, your inhibition is fucking lowered, and you're more willing to cheat on your diet, which I think is the biggest thing. It's not actually like the effects of alcohol on your metabolism and the amount of calories that it is. I mean, there's mixed research on it. But I think it's more so like you're way more willing to cheat on your diet and go get fucking kebab or burgers or fucking whatever you want after.
Kebabs aren't that bad.
I'm saying, I mean, depend. If you're on a strict calorie limit and you have like, your fries and whatever.
Yeah,
like, I'm not saying kebab is bad. I'm just saying like
I
you're
love
more
Turkish food.
I love all food. So, but yeah, it's more so lowers your inhibition and man, yeah, it is high calories too, but. So you got to get drunk once in a while.
No, you don't.
I mean, you don't, but I do.
But like, I mean, like, I got drunk, honestly, like really drunk for like the first time in my life, like a month ago. I didn't like it.
Really?
My friend thought it was very funny, so I accidentally got really drunk. Like it was not intentional at all.
You slipped and the
no, it's not like that. Not like that. Basically, the plan was to go out. The plan was to drink, and then before I went into the place, I had like I drank. We were at a comedy show. I drank like half a Mickey at the comedy show, and then like I basically chugged the rest of the Mickey before we went into the place because I thought they were gonna like pat me. They didn't, but whatever. And so that hit me like an hour later, and I can hold liquor very well. I guess I can't hold a lot of liquor in a short amount of time because I never do that.
Right.
So I was fucked up. Like, and I just remember the whole time my friend thought it was very funny and amusing. I at the time I was just like super anxious, and I kept saying, "Oh, this is concerning. I'm very drunk. Oh, this is bad. I'm very dizzy. I'm concerned. This is very short." And so I turned kind of autistic. Well, I am. So I'm on the spectrum, but it was like he was like, "Yo, shut up. It's so annoying." I'm like, "Bro, I'm literally just expressing how I feel," and I was also like not in control of like a lot. Like the ADHD, it went to like a 12th degree. I was just saying a bunch of not PG things. For like 4 consecutive hours. I didn't like that. I drank like 3 liters of water. Dude, I was so drunk. I drank 3 liters of water in 2 hours. I was still drunk.
Wow. Well, you didn't like it because you felt like you were embarrassed pretty much.
Well,
my understanding.
Like, I feel like I'd be less, I would have enjoyed it slightly more if it was in like a rough, like not a public place per se. Like, I was literally in downtown Toronto. So I didn't like that. And then I was so drunk, I fell asleep on the subway. Thankfully, I was with my buddy, and then he woke me up. I was like, "Oh my god, I fell asleep."
Right.
I wasn't hungover. Actually, I've never been hungover. Like the next morning, I was shocked I wasn't hungover.
That's great.
But that's because I was so hydrated.
That's like half the worst of the worst part.
I don't want to ever be hungover, honestly, because I like staying hydrated. That's why I also don't like drinking. It's empty calories, and it's like I only drink to get liquid courage because I'm terrible at talking to women. I'm awful.
No.
It's the only reason I drink.
That's probably the same for me, honestly. Like, so for me, like I like going out, like going to bars or going to like a club. I don't even really go to
clubs.
clubs. I hate clubs. But like going to a bar and going out where it's like it's a celebration or you're at someone's birthday or whatever, you're even just going out just to like have a fun night. I can't do that sober. Like I'm like I just can't. Like it's the worst.
I just prefer weed, man. Like I actually like.
See, I don't smoke any weed.
I like mixing. So. My ideal is like half a joint and then like 2 shots and I'm good. I'm cruising. But most people can't like crossfade because it it fucks them up. I like crossfade.
I can't smoke in a social setting.
Really?
I get social anxiety when I smoke weed. I just feel like I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, and I'm someone who can just fucking talk. Like I've never bothered.
Maybe it depends on the weed.
I don't know. When I smoke, I feel like, yo, I'm being stupid like right now. Like I said something fucking weird. Like should I say that? Should I not? And I start overthinking, and I don't feel comfortable, and I'm like, I need to go home right now. So
I just get very loud. Like I get like really loud. Like you could hear me from like a block away.
Oh yeah.
I have zero understanding of volume control, but for the most part, it's fine. But in like a place where there's not a lot of music or people talking, it's fucking bad. Like it's like if I'm at a restaurant, I'm like under the influence. It's very fucking loud and annoying. It's very funny though.
Do your eyes get like really red and shit? Like
actually, no, I don't get bloodshot. The only time I get bloodshot is like when it's when I have an edible. But I don't like edibles. I get way too high.
Yeah, like I have to take my contacts out if I smoke because my eyes dry up. They get super red and fucking dry. And so I don't like that either. Yeah, I'm not really a big weed guy. So
I like it. But okay, so what was the biggest challenge you faced during your, I guess, transformation? Like how'd you overcome it? Like from going from like chubby, self-conscious kid to like where you're at now?
I think the biggest challenge, like going through it those first 2 months and like the time after that, I feel like wasn't very challenging because I was so motivated. Like I was willing to do whatever it took. What happened later on is that I tried to implement the same method while I was in university of like not really tracking, like just kind of like, okay, I'm eating these types of foods for 6 days of the week. And then I'm having this like cheat day, like once a week. The problem was that I was drinking super often. And those 6 days of the week, I was like not eating super clean as I wanted to. And then I'm also having this massive cheat day once a week. And I was like, here I am trying to lose weight and I'm gaining weight. And I'm like, what is happening? And I really had to take a step back and look. And I'm like, well, clearly my calorie distribution that I had planned for is not really going to plan. But I like having these like cheat days. Like I like having days where I don't put any restrictions on my food. But I have to figure out a way. Like if I want to eat this way, I have to figure out like the other 6 days have to be limited or else it's not going to work. And so it was, I think the biggest challenge was just kind of like how, and I'm sure you can attest to this, is like, how can I achieve my fitness goals? How can I, you know, for me, a lot of it was like losing weight or getting lean while at the same time still being able to live my life and enjoy food and enjoy, you know, being able to go out. How do I balance the two? Can I have both? Is it possible? What do I have to do? So it was trying a lot of different diets and trying a lot of different, you know, methods of eating and, you know, not really. And then I started tracking my calories and I was like, do I like this? I don't know. And maybe I'm like, okay, let me try getting rid of the cheat day and just kind of like having, you know, a certain amount of calories for the week. And I tried so many different methods. And that was the hardest thing for me is like, it feels like I can't have both. It feels like I can't accomplish my fitness goals. I'm a very all or none type of person. And it was tough because it felt like as soon as I came off the rails, it was like everything was off the table. Or I'm like completely all in to the point where it's like, you know, I'm not letting myself have any treats or have anything. Like it's either all in or all out. And that for me was the hardest part, is trying to balance, like live a life, you know, enjoy my life and still be able to go out and have like dinner with my friends and family, but also like be able to achieve my fitness goals. Man, I remember times like my mom's like, oh, it's your grandpa's birthday, we're going out for dinner. And I was like, I don't want to go. Like I know I'm gonna overeat. I'm gonna cheat on my diet. I'm gonna feel like shit after, and then I'm gonna eat more because I've already broken my diet and I've already went over my calories, and like I don't want to go. My friends are like, it'd be a friend's birthday, and like I didn't want to fucking go. I don't want to go to your birthday, bro. I'm sorry. Like I want to go, but I know that I can't. Or it'd be something like, oh, I'm supposed to have my cheat day on Friday this week, let's say, and then Sunday's Mother's Day. And I'm like, well, fuck. I either there's no Mother's Day this year, sorry, mom, or like that Friday, I gotta bail on my plans because now I'm fucking up. Now I'm having 2 cheat days. I can't have 2 cheat days. So it was really fucking with my head. And it was getting past that, which I feel like I still am working towards. It's not like I've won the battle yet. That was the hardest part to overcome, for sure. And like to anybody, like don't think that shit is going to be resolved immediately. Like you don't just figure shit out like right away. Sometimes you have to fail multiple times in order to learn. Sometimes it's not just one failure that you learn right away. Sometimes you got to fall a couple times to really learn from your mistakes. And I think people are a little too harsh on themselves. And, you know, you can't learn from mistakes you don't make. Something I always say. So.
I feel like the most important thing is sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a similar spot to you when I was going through my weight loss, where it's like, yeah, I wouldn't go pretty much anywhere or do anything. I was just like, yeah, okay, not gonna help me, so I'm just not gonna do it. But then ultimately, like, that's why it's like you asked me earlier, like, what am I doing with fitness? It's like I'm kind of just happy where I'm at because I'm not willing to sacrifice like social like life. You know, like my buddy called me at like 6 p.m. on Friday to go for hot pot, and it's like I didn't eat dinner, right? So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go now. Like, is the end of the world? No, but like I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It's like I'd rather go and do that than like, sure, I cheated on my diet, quote unquote, but I don't have a diet right now. But like, I guess if I was prepping for a bodybuilding show, it'd be different. But like, then yeah, I'm not willing to sacrifice that. That's why it's like for me, I'm not gonna ever really do a bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
I feel like diets don't work unless you're doing a bodybuilding show because then you have to have a very specific like regimented routine. But it's as long as something's sustainable, then that's all that matters, right? And I don't know the answer to whatever that is for you listening to this, but like whatever it is, it's going to work. Keto works for 0.1% of people because they don't like carbs or they find that it works within their lifestyle. It doesn't work for everybody else because it's fucking stupid and people like carbs and you pretty much need carbs for glycogen.
100% agree.
Right? It's the same thing with the carnivore diet or fucking whatever other diet, vegan, vegetarian, like Mediterranean, all these fancy shit. Like fundamentally, if it works, great. But then that goes to my saying, it's not a diet if you could stick to it for the rest of your life. So if you could do keto for the rest of your life, which 99.9% of people can, then it's not a diet, right? I follow quote unquote a diet, but I find funny like with everyday society now, when you eat healthy, it's now considered diet, right? When you eat clean all the time, oh, you're dieting. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm just eating healthy, but you call it a diet because you eat like fucking shit.
Yeah, it gets annoying for sure. It's you know, people are like, oh, you're still dieting, and I'm like, I'm in my off season. I'm not dieting.
Yeah.
I'm just paying attention to what I'm fucking eating.
That's
dude.
that's what you should fucking do too. Yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, like bro, I was taking the bus to my clinic in school, and I had like, I wanted to get a little snack, and I always keep like carrots and celery. Like I always have veggies and fruits in my fucking fridge because it's good for you, and I like eating them. Whatever.
Good snack.
Yeah, good snack, right? So I'm eating my fucking carrots and celery on the bus, like going to the
and Bugs Bunny comes up to you and says, "What's up, Doc?" No.
He goes, "Yeah." No, and someone's like, "Yo, I thought you were done prepping for your show. Like I thought you were done dieting. Like why are you eating carrots?" I was like, "Fucking what, dude?" I'm like, what? I'm like, what should I be eating right now? Like fucking chocolate covered almonds? Like I don't know what you want me to fucking have. This is good. I like this food. It's lower in calories and like whatever. So I'm explaining myself like why I'm eating fucking carrots and celery. And it's like people don't fucking understand.
Nah, people don't. But I think it's also some of their own like insecurities, dude. Like it's like they almost feel like guilty of the fact that like what they're doing isn't technically a diet, right? I don't consider eating like 30 ounces of chicken a fucking diet. I just like doing that because it makes me full, right? I ate like before we recorded this, I ate a pound of chicken wings. Is that a diet? No, it's called I like eating chicken wings, right? Like call me crazy. Like I like fucking protein because it fills me up, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. But one thing I want to touch on was the similarities between what you said about going over your journey in terms of like building confidence and like liking what you see in the mirror. I guess touch on that in terms of like how much of an impact that plays in your day-to-day life now and like how much of a difference it is kind of going back to where you started. Because for me,
my God, yeah.
like it's completely 180 and I mean, we're probably gonna have a lot of similarities, but I know I fucking hated what I saw in the mirror. It was disgusting. I was actually disgusted in myself. And I couldn't wear clothes that I wanted to wear. Had no confidence. Couldn't talk to women. I don't even care. Whatever. I'm not a misogynist. It's not even a matter to women. I hated myself.
Yeah.
You know? And well, I guess like touch on that.
No, it changed my life forever, for sure. And like people don't really like, and it's not their fault that they can't really relate or really understand. Yeah. But it's something as simple as like going shopping for clothes.
Oh, bro, yeah.
I fucking hated it, bro. When I had to get new clothes, it was the fucking worst, bro. Because I know I'm gonna try shit on. It's not gonna fucking fit.
Did you ever have to go to George Richards?
No, I never got there.
Oh, buddy, I got sob stories from here to Christmas about clothes shopping.
Yeah, it's just the fucking.
I made my father cry. My father was such a disappointed father when he took his son clothes shopping for like a suit. Like I think my grandpa died or some shit, and I need to get a suit. So he was already sad, so maybe that kind of did it.
Right.
But his fucking fat ass son couldn't get it. Like he was like, "Yo, give me the biggest shit you have at the store." It wouldn't fit him. And then I just hear my dad crying because he's like, "Oh, I'm such a fucking failure. How did I let my kid get this fucking fat?" And then I'm fucking 14 years old. I had to go to George Richards, and the George Richards dude, he's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm fat. Nothing fits me." So yeah, shout out to George Richards.
Yeah, dude. And like, man, your parents don't mean to like, they're not consciously acting that way in order to like make you feel like shit. But dude, my fucking mom, bro, I remember going to H&M. I'm 12 years old. Grade 6 was the fattest I got, like in terms of just like body fat percentage. Like I was fucking big, bro. And bro, I don't think my parents realized like how much more self-conscious they made me feel. Like I'd go to H&M. So first of all, I'd go to my mom and be like, "Yo, mom, like none of my fucking pants fit. I have no pants." Right? So,
I got no pants, yo.
I gotta go to school. I got no fucking pants, right?
I gotta just walk outside of my underwear, mom.
Yeah.
Like,
and my mom's like, "We just fucking went shopping 6 fucking months ago. What do you mean your pants don't fucking fit?" And I don't know if you had this as a kid, but like I would try to like wear smaller clothes that were like, even like I should have got them a little bit bigger because it made me feel better about myself. Because I was like, I don't want to wear XL. Like,
I didn't have a choice, bro. When I was in grade 8. So this was like, I was like 13. It was at the point of peak Puffy where I had to import shirts from the US. I was getting 3XL shirts. So I never had that issue. Like, yes, I wanted to size down, but I couldn't. I didn't even have that.
It wasn't an option. Yeah. So I'd go and my mom's like, "We just fucking went shopping," and I'm like, I know, I was there. It sucked. And so we go to H&M and she'd go into, because like I'm 12, right? So I'm still in like the child section, right? And nothing would fucking fit. And so my mom had to go to the adult section and she's like, "We have to go to the adult section to get you fucking clothes." And I'm like, bro, this makes me feel even worse, right? And I'm trying on the clothes and they're not fitting. And my mom's frustrated. She wants to go home. So she gets mad. And she's like, "We're trying new shit. I'm trying. And nothing fits." And like, I'm trying on these pants and I'm doing my best to like fucking
to suck in the gut.
Suck in the gut.
The gut suck.
Yeah,
bro, okay, wait. I remember my dad and I at the store, right? He would come behind me. All right, he would come behind me. He's like, "Okay, you gotta suck it." He's like, "You gotta suck it." So I'd suck in my gut, and then he tried with all of his non-existent strength to try to buckle the button.
Yeah, man.
This is the one. It's gotta work. It's a fucking size 45.
Yeah, dude. And like, man, if you were going out somewhere, like I remember like, "Oh, we're going out for dinner, like wear some nice pants." And I'm like, "Fuck you, I haven't tried these pants on in a fucking while, bro." And I put them on and you gotta like brace. You're like sitting there and you're like, "Okay."
You gotta suck in the TV.
Yeah. You're just like, you get one good one and you just fucking hope and
but then you pray to God nobody asks you to sit, because like I remember like some of that happened. And there was one time actually, bro, like I did the gut suck and I went to like, I think it was like a grandparent's house for like Shabbat, and then like I guess I ate too much matzo ball soup and the fucking
exploded.
The button exploded, bro. I went to my dad. He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, "Dad, the button fell off." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, like my pants are gonna fall down." So he gave me his belt, and that salvaged it for that night.
Yeah, so I mean, dude, just little things like that where it hits your fucking, I hated clothes. And then I remember I lost all this weight. So I was like, now I need clothes for the first time in my life for the opposite reason, because my clothes are too fucking big. And I remember going to clothes and I'm like, I'm in the change room and I like don't give a fuck to take my clothes, to take my shirt off in the change room.
Yeah.
Even when no one's there.
Yeah.
But just like, because the mirror is in the change room,
dude,
right?
I always thought there was fucking cameras. I always thought there was cameras. I was like, this is gonna show up on like xhub.com or some like it was that, and also like I was super self-conscious about myself. Don't get me wrong, but I was like even more mortified. I was like, dude, if this shows up like somewhere, like, oh my god, my like 0.5 pecker, and like the fact that like I look like a fucking Peter Griffin meme, like, dude, that was not, yeah. Dude. I would always check like the walls. I don't know if I was psychotic. I would check like to see if there's like a hidden camera.
I was never like that, but I remember there were times where like we're trying on t-shirts, let's say, and the line to the change room
is
too long. My dad's like, bro, just fucking take it off and put it on right now.
No,
and I was like,
my titties.
I was like, no fucking chance I'm doing that 100%. Shit, bro. I'm sorry, I can't do it. And he's like, take your fucking, like, come on. He's like getting mad. He's like, we're not fucking waiting. I'm like, no, man. I went to, like, man, little shit like this. I went to in the 6th grade. It was and I'll never forget. Like, you don't forget these moments are core memories ever, bro.
These are what make you a man.
My buddy was like a big hockey guy, and for his birthday, he rented the ice and had like a little hockey thing. I didn't play hockey. Me in skates is like, forget it, bro. There's no fucking way. But I was like, like I'm gonna go to the party, and so everyone's gets there, and you have to change into like the equipment, right? And so in order to change to the equipment, you got to fucking take your shirt off, take your pants off, put the fucking shit on. But there are people that are like in the change room. And always for me, when I was in the change room, is like, I'm not changing until I'm the last person in the change room, until everyone is gone. Because I don't want anyone to see me with my shirt off or my pants off, because I feel like they're going to make fun of me and I'm going to be self-conscious. And my dad's waiting. My dad's like, dude, get fucking changed, bro. Like, let's go. Come on. And I'm like, purposely taking like super slow, like trying to like I gotta take my pants, like, oh fuck, and I'm like taking my, like, waiting for like everyone's gotta fucking get out of the change room, right? And my dad was like so confused and so mad, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? And like I'm just like, in my head I couldn't tell him, but I was like, it's something as simple as like, I don't want anyone in here to see me with my fucking shirt off. And everyone has to leave. And when I was changing in the change room in the 8th grade or 7th grade before gym class, it was the same thing. I sat in the change room until everyone finished changing, and then I was the last person there, and then I changed. Like, it's shit, and like,
man, it makes me sad because it actually gets me reminiscing. I was in the exact same like, situation.
And it's shit.
Except the difference was like, everybody knew I was fucking fat, so it was like, yeah, but like, see, there's different levels. I'm not trying to like one up you, right?
No, it's true,
but
though,
like, you were chubby, I was fucking obese.
Yeah,
like, people genuinely wanted to see how large my tits were. When I went to sleepover camp, people would like not line up, like, but like the counselors like wanted to see like my like fatness, like,
right.
And okay, that was like, that's just like 17 or 18-year-olds being fucking idiots to like I was like, what, like 10? So it wasn't like abuse. It wasn't like I willingly like, just, they were like, what was the from the Goonies, the guy who should jiggle his tits. Like, they wanted me to do that, whatever his name was, right? And that was funny. But no, that was that's some core fucking memories, because I did the same thing, except I never learned how to skate. Did you learn how to skate?
Yeah, I couldn't, barely.
So I have a funny story about learning how to skate. So this shout out to my dad. He I love him. He's a great guy. But in order to teach me how to skate, I just thought it was great. Like, I could just skate using the, like, holding the chair. I never wanted to leave the chair. Like, me and the chair, we are inseparable. It was the greatest relationship I ever had. Never talked back to me, never hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
It was there to support me.
Supported you,
Supported me.
It's there for you.
All right. So I had this fucking chair, and then I progressed to like the not chair, the whatever, the red thing. It was like kind of like a chair. It was like a U shape thing.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
No, originally they gave me a chair with like balls on it, and then I got like the other thing. So,
no, the red thing that was like, you were like an old man with like a walking cane. Yeah, that shit was.
So I had that, having the time of my fucking life skating. I was like Lightning McQueen on that shit. All right. Yeah. And then he's like, all right, bud, it's time to progress to not holding that. I was like, absolutely not happening. So my dad, and I was like 6 at the time, or like maybe even younger. My dad's like, what motivates my child? And he's like, food. So my dad got a big ass bag of Maltesers and stuffed it in his fucking pocket, came back on the ice. My dad could skate really well. And he was like, I remember I was like a chipmunk to him. He's like, come. And he had like some Maltesers, and he's like, come. So I would like, he got rid of the little like old dude thing, and I was on the boards, right? I was holding onto the boards, and he was like, let go of the boards. And then I would let go of the boards and just like inch forward. And he was like, come. And then he pop it in my mouth, because I was wearing a cage too. So he couldn't get me like a Kit Kat, because the Kit Kat wouldn't have fit in my cage. So he like kept popping Maltesers in my mouth, and it's like, come. that worked for like about 3 times, and then I became a diabetic. No, I'm joking, but I just got bored of like learning how to skate because honestly, it was very tiring, and like I was fat, and it was painful on my feet.
That shit on your feet and your ankles, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
just like
brutal.
fucking, dude. I remember just like I listen. I wasn't to the point where like you were at because like I didn't get that big, but dude, just like trying to play sports at recess, man, that shit was fucking hard.
Oh man,
Bro, I'm sure you fucking can remember that. You ever play like fucking tag or manhunt, and someone had to come and be like, "Yo, just tag me, dude. Like it's okay." Like,
I was self-nominated every time. I was like, who's the guy? It's him. Okay, I'm just gonna stand right here. Hi, please tag me. No, I remember it was really bad. Like I purposely skipped track and field. Like I did not show up. Like when you would know the track and field day, you can't. It's mandatory participation. Suck my fucking dick. I don't need the participation medal. I don't need the embarrassment. I did it one year. It was so fucking like nobody meant any harm by it, but like I actually tried my fucking best, and I'm like 11 years old, and like I don't even fucking know how much, like over 200 pounds easy, right? I couldn't tie my goddamn shoes, let alone run for 40 meters or whatever it was. But I tried because I was like, okay, it's track and field day, everybody gets a ribbon. I want a ribbon. I think this was before they gave out participation medals. So I actually wanted a medal. Like I just wanted the I wanted to hang it on my wall. And anyways, I tried my best to do like the 40 meter, whatever it was. And like, I needless to say, I was like dead last, and then everybody started laughing at me. So then I left halfway through actually that track and field day, and the principal called my parents and gave them shit about me leaving. And they actually retorted. They were like, no, fuck you for making my fat child get embarrassed in front of his peers.
Yeah.
And so the next 2 years I just skipped it completely. Cause you can't force someone into that shit. I just save myself the embarrassment. But I know what you're saying. Even like simple things like baseball. A lot of times, in order to cope with my own insecurities, I used to make fun of myself. I used to make like I was my own punching bag. But I'd rather call myself fat or make fun of or do fat jokes to myself than letting other people do it.
Right.
Like I remember my high school yearbook. It literally, or not high school, the elementary. I didn't go to high school, but elementary one said most likely voted most likely to be a comedian. And my fucking like yearbook quote was like, I don't want to die tomorrow knowing I could have eaten a whole chocolate cake today. Right. So that pretty much sums up everything I was at. But like I used to play baseball, and bro, like even running from home to first, like that like I that was like my yearly exercise. Right. And my coach would be like, yo, you got to steal second. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Are you expect this fat ass to run from fucking first to second before getting thrown out? So I remember like there was one game we were playing, and the pitcher tried to pick me off at first. I had like, dude, I didn't even take a lead off, right? Yeah. And I'm like, guys, I have an announcement. I was like 12 years old at the time. My buddy Noah, who was on my team, he could validate this. I'm like, guys, I have an announcement. I am not stealing second. Please do not even bother. Right. And the coach was like, why'd you do that? I was like, because I'm not stealing. Like I can't. I'm gonna get thrown out. And then I was afraid of like sliding. Right, I never learned how to slide. I mean, granted, like I had a lot of protection, so I probably would have been fine. But, anyways, fuck sports when you're fat.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was I mean, maybe this is like kind of what got me into like lifting weights or strength. But I found shot put was one of the events, and it's like I was good at that because I didn't have to run or anything. And all of a sudden, like when you're a fat kid. And you could be like strong. It's like, yeah, I'm not fat. I'm fucking strong. It's all fucking muscle, man. And so like shot put was, and I was good at that. I actually went to areas for shot put when I was a fat piece of shit because I could fucking lunge the fucking metal ball farther than everybody else. Solid. So, but then they're like, you also have to do the track events. So when the track events came on, I was like, I'm so nauseous. I can't. Like, I'm gonna throw. I told them I got to throw up every time. And they're like, Eitan, you had to throw up for like 2 years straight now, dude, during the track events. And I'm like, I don't know, bro. Shot put, I feel better. I don't know. So I just went to shot put and like the standing long jump, just because like I didn't feel as embarrassed.
Yo, that's so funny. You got like a fucking 2-inch vertical.
Yeah. Standing long jump, I didn't feel. I was like, oh, yo, I fucking slipped. You know, like I could like make it up, because you can't be like, you know, if you run slow, you run slow. But if I'm just like, oh fuck, I had such a bad jump, man, fuck, you know, like I could like make a lie, like I could lie about it, and people, you know, and it made me feel better. So I'd at least do that. But yeah, dude, I remember track too, man. Like I remember they'd put me in the heat with like, it was like me and then like, I don't want to sound like a dick, but like all like the chubbier like women that were in
Good. No,
you
I
know,
want to level the playing field.
yeah, level the playing field. It's like, all right, we put fat fuck you, and then all the chubby chicks that probably have never ran ever, and you run with them, and I would come last. And man, it was so embarrassing. I felt like shit. I was like, fuck, I can't even beat these people.
I can't even beat fat women.
Yeah, so that was like a choke, but. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely relate. It's just like little things that people don't even realize. Something as simple as like going shopping for clothes, playing sports, fucking doing regular people shit, or like getting food. Like, let's say I wanted to order food, or I wanted to like we'd go out to get, I don't know, to the shopping mall, and everyone got like fucking McDonald's or like Subway or whatever. When it came to me ordering. And like fat kids know this, like you're like, fuck, like I gotta like not look fat right now. And everyone knows you're fat too, you know. And everyone's waiting for like, all right, is this guy gonna get a double Big Mac or like what's he getting? What's going on? And you're like, fuck, I gotta tone it down.
Can I get a Caesar salad?
And you're like, yeah, maybe like just a 6-piece nuggets or something, you know. And because you felt like people were judging you all the time,
bro,
you know.
100%. I mean, I that was the one thing I didn't give a fuck. Like, I just ordered 100 nuggets every time.
Oh, you didn't give a shit.
No, I couldn't give a fuck. Like, I was already like, I was so far gone at that point. Like, it was like entertainment for like my people to watch me eat. They're like, how do you do this? I was just like, I'm fucking hungry. Like,
yeah,
you know, pack it away.
I mean, the food thing was like, and I mean, at this is like where I can maybe blame my parents a little bit because it probably is a lot their fault. But like, I remember being a kid. I had you know my older brother Daniel, so he's like 4 years older than me, and he's also like 6'3", and I'm fucking
guy.
not. I'm 5'9", but I always wanted to do everything that he did as my older brother, right? So I remember we'd go to Subway, and he was already a fucking big kid. Not to mention he's 4 years older than me and like 6 inches taller. And I was like, no, I want the same thing that he's getting. He's getting the foot-long sub with the cookies and the chips and the fucking drink. And my dad's like, okay, you're 7 years old. So maybe, and bro, I just fucking whine. I just like cry, and they just, you know, I'd get what I wanted. And
did you finish it?
Yeah, bro.
Oh my god,
shit was light work.
That's
man.
impressive. That's
yeah. But the thing is another thing is like your concept of fullness, right?
Yeah.
So for me, full was like if I need to lie down after and I can't move,
that's not good.
That's full, like, right? Like I thought that's what everyone felt. I thought that's what full meant. For like years, I thought that's what it meant.
That's crazy.
So like I would eat until like I had to lie down, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm full. This is normal. I was like, and bro, it wasn't until like way later in my life that I realized that I was like, oh, like you're not supposed to feel like shit after you eat. Like that's not normal.
No.
Yeah. I didn't understand.
That's crazy, man.
Like the difference between like satiation, like I'm satiated and I'm like obscenely full.
You're
like
gorged,
I feel like, yeah. Like I thought that was the same. That was the same shit.
That's fucking crazy.
So like that was a large part of it. I didn't really understand. I didn't really like that concept of like satiation. Like I didn't understand what it meant. I thought like that was full. I thought like eating to the point where I like couldn't eat more food. I thought that was what it was supposed to be like.
Yeah, that's not healthy.
Yeah, and I didn't know any better, and my parents were a little bit too nice to tell me to, because you know they'd be like, my mom was always bad cop. My mom was always like, you know, maybe you don't need the third slice of chocolate cake. I was like, Mom, like, I want it.
Yeah.
You know, and they couldn't, like, it was hard for them to say no, especially when there was people around, you know, like my grandparents and shit. You know, because they would give me whatever the fuck I wanted. My grandparents, they're like, little fat boy, you have fun, enjoy yourself. So, but yeah, and when there are people around, my parents, like, you know, it was kind of embarrassing to have, like, I have to tell my fat ass kids to stop eating. So they just didn't do it. They just didn't do it, right? So, I mean, did they mean for it to you know, come out that way? No, but, you know, they probably could have done a better job of kind of putting the foot down a little more or how they went about it. But I hate to like put the blame on them, but
no, it's double. Like you have to take some accountability. Like for me,
sure.
I think it was their fault, but also my fault. It was both. Like I'm ultimately the one still putting it in my mouth, right?
Yeah.
And then also like I had an eating disorder for like a decade that like I was not diagnosed with. So it was like anything new in my, like I would only eat 5 foods.
What eating disorder?
It was called ARFID. It's forget what it stands for every time. ARFID eating disorder. avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. It's a fairly new eating disorder. Children with ARFID are extremely selective eaters and sometimes have
I've heard
little
about
interest
this.
in eating food. It's getting more popular, unfortunately. This is not a good thing. But basically, at the time, which was about I was 17, about 9 years ago, this was even more new. Like, so if you know about it, that's good. But like,
People for a while were like, "This is fake."
it's not fake though.
Yeah, they're like,
So
it's-
because I ate the Happy Meal menu basically for fucking 11 years. So like grilled cheese, chicken fingers, French fries, pizza, and hot dogs. Those were the only 5 foods that I ate for fucking 11 years. And I mean, other than like some flavors of chips, like chocolate and candy. So like basically like Dollarama. That's all I ate. Right.
But you tried other foods and or you
So
couldn't even try it. Or...
Every time I tried something new, I throw up.
Oh,
Or
wow.
gag. Or even the thought of it made me gag. There's certain smells, certain textures, gag. Or when I tried my parents would get me like filet mignon steak. I can't say it. Is that how you say it?
Filet mignon.
Filet mignon.
Yeah, I don't think you pronounce a G.
Filet mignon. All right, whatever.
Filet mignon.
We fillet some mignons.
Yeah.
Like very expensive, nice beef butchered steak, right?
Yeah.
Like, I throw up.
Damn.
So vegetables were never in the question. Not even fuck that. I still hate vegetables. And there's certain textures. But long story short, I went to an eating disorder specialist, and thankfully she helped me. And basically, we just had to like incrementally like break down each thing and then kind of build it back up. So like I like instead of eating chicken fingers or chicken nuggets from like McDonald's, I'd go and literally get it deep fryer it at home, and then go from there to like air fried, oven, to then grilling it, and then incrementally like being, you know, and I had to do that with like a lot of foods. There's still certain things like don't come at me with a pickle. It's not happening.
I fucking love pickles.
I hate pickles. I hate it with every ounce of my body. I don't like peanut butter. I don't like.
You don't like peanut butter?
I don't like most fish.
Wow.
I hate all fish except for like shrimp because it's not really a fish. Well, it is a fish, but it's like it doesn't taste like fish.
No, it's not a fish.
Oh, it's not a fish.
It's a crustacean.
Okay, well there you go. It's not a fish. I like halibut, but that shit's so expensive.
Wait, is it a crustacean?
I don't fucking know. It doesn't taste. I like fish that taste like chicken. All right, so
Yeah.
like I like that one, and I like halibut. That's about it. And then yeah. Anyways, I have a good baseline now, and so I'm cool. I know my limits. I play within it.
Right.
OLG. But and I don't come at me with Indian food or like none of that. But yeah, it was mutual. It was both their fault and my fault.
Yeah.
It was more so, okay, if I was gonna blame them at all, it'd be like they should have fucking solved it like when I was 9, not when I was like like when I was 13 and like on a liver transplant list. That was a little late.
Yeah.
Right? Because then it was like, oh, your kid's 11, he's gonna die soon, he's fat. Okay, now we should start. No, if it's much easier to control an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old or force the 9-year-old to like eat broccoli than it is to force a 12 or 13-year-old, because they were like, okay, you either eat the shit or like starve. And I'm like, okay, great. I just stole their credit card and went to get Domino's.
Damn.
Right? Because like when an addict wants something, like it was addiction. So like I also didn't want to go bed hungry. So it was my other options. I remember they put like a lock on the junk food. On like we had a junk food cupboard, like the chips, the candies, cookies.
Right.
They put a lock on it. I was like, okay, great. I just broke the lock.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you figured it out, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, like my parents really tried their best, especially when it got to the point where I got like really fat. But I'm like, man, when you guys leave the house, man, I remember my parents be like, it was so fucked because I'm such a young kid. And I remember my parents being like, oh, we're going to go out. We're going out for dinner tonight, or we're going out to some like comedy club, whatever. And then like, you're going to be home alone for a little bit. The immediate thought that came into my head is, great, I can eat whatever I want. No one can fucking tell me anything.
Yeah.
That's what I fucking thought about. That's what I remember. I went to my grandparents every weekend, and the reason, like majority of the reason, was because my grandparents let me eat whatever the fuck I wanted. And it's so fucked to think about, but that's literally why I went. Like, my grandparents' house are fucking boring. There's no video games there. Fucking, I just sat and like could like go on my fucking DS or some shit, or my phone.
I love the DS.
Yeah, but like I went there because it was unlimited food and no judgment. My parents would go somewhere and it was just me. It was unlimited food and no judgment. And so, yeah, like that's on me, bro. When they were, vividly remember one thing, and I will never forget this, is it's like late at night. I'm watching TV. My parents are out. I go, I'm going to make myself, I don't know why, as a kid, it was like toast, butter, and cheese. I fucking love that shit. I would just like
Oh, that's so bad for you. Holy shit.
I would just toast bread, butter it, fat like layer of spreadable
God
butter,
damn.
and like 2 slices of cheese, and I'd just have like
You didn't even make a fucking grilled cheese.
no,
eh?
just I don't know why. I love that.
That's crazy.
Just like butter and cheese sandwiches. Anyway, so I was making that, and I was like, fucking, this is gonna hit right now. And I'm like buttering the toast, and I have the cheese out and whatever. And my parents came back early, and I was like, fuck. And I'm like, there's no time. So it's fucking like I hid the plate with the butter and cheese and toast like behind the toaster, and I just like quickly threw everything in the fridge, and I like went up to my room, and
Did they find it?
yeah, my parents were like, what the fuck? And they're like, what is this? Like, who, like, why is there like half a fucking made sandwich behind the toaster? And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is that? Like, I don't know. Like, who did that? Who could have done that?
That's crazy.
Must have been my brother, bro. That guy, you guys gotta get a hold of that fucking
The
guy.
fucking tooth fairy.
Yeah, he fucking my older brother, bro. I don't know, man. That guy's fucked. He's doing fucking whatever he wants now, and you got to get a hold of that guy. Yeah, bro. And I just like it's shit like that. Like now you laugh, you know, when you think about it, but it's like so toxic. Like it's just my whole life revolved around food. Like anything that what made me happy was food. Eating was food, and it was like, and again, I think my parents knew that too, and so. And like my family was very much like if it was like a celebration or like whatever, like food was the and yeah, it was, you know, it was bad as a kid. And talking about eating disorders, like my first prep gave me fucking binge eating disorder.
Yeah, that's very common.
Very common for bodybuilders. That fucking sucked ass, bro. And I kind of like didn't want to acknowledge it. It's hard to come to terms with like some like medical shit like that.
Well, the hardest part is admitting it.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't want to admit it. I didn't want to, and it got to a point where I was so fucking fed up. Like, there's being sick and tired, and then you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, I was so sick and tired of feeling sick and tired that I was like, I need to get fucking help. And my coach was, I mean, shout out my new coach in Boston. He's fucking unbelievable, and he was the one who was like, dude, you need fucking help. Like this is not like a bodybuilding thing. This is like you have a fucking mental health problem. And I'm like, nah. I was like, it's because of the show, dude. It's because of bodybuilding.
Wait, how much did you rebound after your first show?
Dude, fuck, I have pictures. Okay. I don't know if you want me to just show them or like send them to you.
You can text it to me. I'll put it on the screen.
But okay, so I'll show you after my first, because I rebounded after my second show too, but I had it a little bit under control. I eventually started seeing a binge eating specialist that was like a therapist. That was like her specialty. That I'm seeing her now still.
Still, eh?
Still, yeah. I see her every week. I'm gonna see her on Monday.
That's
tomorrow.
Crazy.
It's fucking great. It's helped my like. Again, it was so tough to admit I'm still in therapy. You know, I feel like as a guy it's a little bit harder.
You know what, actually I think all guys are way too hard on themselves, or like they're so secluded with their own emotions. You have to have a level of emotional intelligence and maturity to like actually respect another person to admit that they're in therapy, like or actually seek therapy. A lot of guys, they like just internalize their emotions, and what ends up happening is they just boil over, or they like their feelings like take control. Like there's nothing wrong with seeing therapist or figuring out your own shit. If you're nobody's fucking perfect, and whether it's depression, whether it's anger, whether it's anxiety, like go fucking figure out your shit. Or if it's an eating disorder, but typically eating disorders, maybe yours is the exception, but typically eating disorder stems from something else. Like I used to have basically a different I used to binge eat and just binge eat my feelings, but it was because like my parents were getting a divorce, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, now I'm fucking sad, so I'm just gonna eat my feelings.
Yeah. For me, it was just more so my relationship with food, and like it was kind of like we were talking about before. Okay, I sent you like before and after my first show. But yeah, it was more so just like I had this like super toxic relationship with like after that show specifically was just like seeing like food as like being obsessed with the calorie counting, being obsessed with like
Holy shit.
Yeah, so dude, that was
put this on the screen.
Yeah. So that was right before my show. So that picture, my show was May 29th. So that's May 29th for my show. And then this is August 29th. So what's that? June, July, August. That's 3 months.
This was after?
3 months after.
Holy fuck, you got fucking fat.
I think it was 50 pounds I gained in 3 months.
That's impressive.
50 pounds in 3 months.
That's impressive. That's actually impressive. Good job.
That's
fucked. Hard to do.
I mean, not for me.
That's hard to do. Holy fuck, bro.
So dude, it was 50 pounds. Yeah, that's the end of August. So
that's actually crazy.
And I was fucking depressed as shit, bro.
I could see in your face. You look like you hate your.
I went on Birthright. This is right after Birthright, that picture of me fat as shit. So on Birthright, all I could think about every fucking day, and especially if we went swimming or we went out, was I'm fat as shit. And also it hit me so much more because people started looking at me as, you're bodybuilding guy.
I was gonna say,
Eitan,
because people knew
bodybuilder.
You were like a bodybuilder. Now they're saying a fat piece of shit.
And now it's like Eitan bodybuilder.
What the fuck happened?
What the fuck happened, dude? And realistically, no one really gives a fuck about you, to be honest. But in my head, it's like I'm Eitan bodybuilder guy, and I'm a fat fucking piece of shit. And
that's crazy.
And that's all I could think about. We'd be like going on a trip, having the most fun time, and I'm just like sitting there, and I'm just like, I'm such a fat fucking slob, dude. I need to diet. And part of it was I gained a lot of weight right after my show because people gain some weight right after the show. And a lot of it's water and glycogen. And I think
not that much.
No. I'm talking about like the next week, the week after my show.
Okay. That's not
water and glycogen. It's just water weight.
Jesus Christ.
No. So the week after my show, you know, and a week after a lot of people's show, it's like a natural thing. You're gonna eat and you're gonna enjoy yourself. You're gonna put on like some weight, but the scale is gonna be a lot higher than like the actual fat that you put on. And I freaked out and I was like, I need to go back to dieting. And I think what really fucked up is I went back to like almost like a prep style diet 2 weeks after my competition because I was like, oh my God, I'm gaining so much weight. I want to stay lean. And then it was just like the worst thing you could ever do is the fucking yo-yo, like yo-yoing. Like you're dieting and then you're eating like a fuck ton.
Everybody
and
does,
you're dieting and then you're eating a fuck ton. And it's like, there's no progress here. This is just like, you just feel like shit constantly. It's either you feel like shit. No, you just feel like shit all the time. It's horrible. So I can send what my prep was this time around. I got pretty fucking peeled.
Wait, on your Instagram?
It's not like... Here, I'll send a... Should I send a video?
Oh, you can. I'm just putting your Instagram on the screen. Look at this. This makes for great audio. I'll just he's if
that was my first show.
This was your first show?
That was my first show. I'm talking about my second show.
This one.
This is my second show. This was kind of
you got a good back shot.
You know, I actually binged the night before my show.
Really, eh?
Fun fact. No one really knows. But here, I'll send you some like...
Is this Natty?
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
So
imagine if you took gear.
Yeah. So you always think.
Just blast some trend.
Yeah, it's always a thought, especially like. So I sent you. I don't know if you got the messages. Fuck. Let's see if it's sent. No, it's still sending. But so that was my show. A month before that competition, I was actually leaner than I was during the show. I just kind of fell apart because I fucked up on the dieting aspect. I dieted a little too hard, a little too quickly, and started binging. So you could click on, hopefully it's like good. It's the past 3. Yeah, those 3. Here's, like I got pretty fucking, and this is a month before the competition.
Dude, that's actually fucking solid.
I was already pretty fucking peeled. And then look at the last. Yeah, there's a picture there.
Dude, that's pretty fucked. You need to work on your quads though.
Yeah, my legs are small.
Your legs are pretty small.
For 2 years, I didn't do legs because I was.
Are you serious?
For 2 years because when I first got into the frat, those first 2 years.
Oh my God.
I was like, fuck it, dude. Only chest and arms for fucking. I only did upper body, so I didn't train my legs.
Yeah, your legs are small.
So here.
Oh wait, here I'll take the audio off.
Yeah, take the audio off, but
nobody can. I don't think anybody can hear the audio though. It's just us.
Oh, if you zoom in, like look at you'll see the like just the veins just like crawling.
Dude, that's actually
all over
crazy.
my abs. And bro, this is like a month before the show, right? I was already like,
Should put that on Tinder.
fuck dinner.
You know what? Fuck it. Make a grinder.
Yeah, that's fine. No, so like, man, it was, but like again, I didn't do it properly again. Like for the second time, like, I just dieted. I didn't track. I just kind of guessed what my maintenance was. And I think a lot of people forget that there's so many different body types out there, and you can't just like look at someone online and being like, all right, this is how much they eat, this is how much I should eat, maybe, because you don't know how many, like, you don't know what their cardio is like, you don't know what calories, and you, at the end of the day, everyone has a different, the way their metabolism works and how much you can eat. So I just kind of guessed what my maintenance was. I wasn't really tracking my workouts or my cardio, and so I ended up figuring it out a little bit too late into my prep that I was in like between a 1,000 to a 1,250 calorie deficit every day. And that shit is not really maintainable.
Yeah.
So I could do it for a month, and then I started binge eating again. Because again, and I also had this binge eating issue that was I never figured it out. So I started binge eating during my prep. And I reached this point, I remember, where I was like, I wanted to quit. Because I'm binging every week. I feel fucking horrible. But I'm like, I've already come this far. Meanwhile, mind you, I'm still in school during this moment. So I did this second prep in fucking optometry school still. And I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. And I figured, I was like, you know what, dude, you're halfway. Like, just fucking grind the other half. You know, it was either quit or keep going and just do your best. But I knew if I kept going that the eating disorder would just get worse if I just kept pushing through it. But I was like, I'm not a fucking quitter. So I just went, and I don't regret it. I think it was, no
regrets.
No ragrats. But it was, yeah, bro, it was tough. By the time I finished, oh, you want to hear something fucked? So finished my competition. Ate so much that the next 2 days I couldn't move out of my bed. So those 2 days I was literally, and I had all these plans. Going out with friends, or we're gonna do this, we're gonna go here. I did not leave my bed.
Did you tell them why?
Yeah, I was like, I ate too much, I can't fucking move.
That's hilarious.
So that happens, and then I get back on track.
I don't think I've ever done that, actually.
I could not move out of bed for 2 days, 48 hours. I couldn't get out of bed.
I had all you can eat sushi yesterday, and probably I housed about 80, 90 pieces.
Where'd you go?
I love Sanu sushi.
I've never been.
Oh, maybe we might have to change that.
Fuck.
But what's it called? But yeah, then I was fine. I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever eaten that much to where the next day I'm like, I need like a defibrillator. Like that's crazy.
Bro, when I was binge eating, when it was bad, pretty much during my prep and like a little bit after and before, I was eating to the point where like, dude, I couldn't fucking like, I couldn't move. Like I was in bed, like I couldn't sleep. I was holding my stomach because I was in so much pain because I ate so much food. To give you like so that first week after, I had those couple days where I was fucked, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get back on maintenance and just kind of chill. But I was still having these like binging kind of episodes, and at one point, have you ever heard of the like all in method or whatever? It's this chick online. Her name is Stephanie. She's it's Jeff Nippard's girlfriend. She went viral.
Fuck that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Stephanie Butter, whatever.
Yeah.
She can fuck right off.
So
I remember I used to watch Greg Doucette. I have stopped watching Greg Doucette. He went off on this dumbass. Oh, she was a fucking. Okay, for anybody who doesn't know, she was like a bikini competitor. Great shape. God bless her. She thought it was way too extreme because it is. She was doing it year round. Yo-yo dieting, cutting for the show, and then when she wasn't cutting the show, she was still on a diet because she wanted to maintain the figure, do photo shoots, all this shit. She had enough, and then she was just like, I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna eat whatever I want. And she became very fucking fat. And then because of that, she basically pushed her following, which was quite large at the time, and her audience to just basically become fat. She was basically Lizzo before Lizzo.
Yeah, so I pretty much sums it up. But
so you did that shit?
So I was like, so I'm desperate. I'm at the point where I have this binge eating disorder, and I still haven't like really gotten help. So I'm like, what the fuck do I do?
Let me just eat everything I want.
So yeah, I'm literally like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I'm Googling, I'm searching online, I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm like, where the fuck, like, what do people do? What do people do? And I think I see her video and I watch the whole thing and I'm like, okay. And I think subconsciously was like this idea of eating whatever I want and not caring was like kind of got me horny a little bit. I was like, oh wait, so this is gonna fix my eating disorder and I get to eat whatever I want. This is a double win, man. Yeah, right. So I was a fucking idiot, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna eat whatever I want, and then, at some point there should be this regulation,
balance out, right? Yeah, just gonna magically fucking. This is the magic pill that everybody wants, right?
So get this: 10 days. 10 days. I had 10,000 calories a day. I tracked everything. So now I'm at a point where I mean, except for the week that I'm home this week, I'm not really tracking because fuck it, I'm home for a week and I'm just gonna eat dinner with my family and shit. Also, my therapist said that I shouldn't, so I'm listening to her.
Yeah, good.
But anyways, I typically track fucking everything. I track my cardio, I track my workouts, I track all my food, everything I eat. I track my drinks. If I go drinking, I track everything. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna track everything. I'm gonna go through this process, but I want to know what it's like, bro. 10,000 calories a day for 10 days straight. I had 100,000 calories in 10 days, and I didn't move. I didn't get off my fucking couch, bro. Because you eat 10,000 calories, it's a little bit hard to fucking move and go to the gym. So I didn't work out. I didn't leave the house. I was embarrassed because you couldn't imagine like the level of bloating and like my face was like melting. I felt like a fucking Palpatine. I don't know. It was fucking horrible. And I did it for 10 days and it got to a point where I was like, yo, what the fuck am I doing, bro? Like, how is this supposed to help?
So it didn't work.
So I quit. I was like, yeah, this is not.
I'm gonna send this to Stephanie fucking Butterworth.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, fuck. I don't know if this is working, and I'm just like, well, what did the YouTube say to keep doing this?
To keep doing.
And I'm like, more? I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be 400 pounds, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why it's really important to be authentic and actually like not bullshit your audience and like actually educate your audience properly, because not just you, but like or her. Like I don't blow whatever. I don't actually care that much about her, but like she's putting shit out in the world and people are actually just gonna follow it, and it's gonna fucking do more harm than good.
Mind you, this is after 5 years of training. This is like not too long ago, bro, that I tried this shit, and it was more so like I was so desperate on like finding a fix that I was like, I'm willing to try whatever. And dude, like 10 days later, I gained a fuck ton of weight, obviously. I felt like fucking shit. And I was like, okay, like what am I supposed to do? Keep doing this? Keep eating however much I want, whenever I want, and it's eventually supposed to just fucking get better? No, man, it's not a fucking shit. It's like, imagine you tell a fucking crack addict, yeah, just do as much crack as you
want.
Dude, whenever you want
go
crack.
All in. Go all in.
All
try
in.
opioids.
All in on the crack.
Try heroin.
Whenever you want crack, you do crack. You want more crack, just do crack. Keep doing crack, and eventually you won't want to do crack anymore.
It's so logical.
What?
No, it's so logical, bro. His brain will just be like, you know what? I've had too much crack. I think I'm done.
Yeah, and like as a crack addict, you think this is amazing. I get as much crack as I want, and eventually I'm gonna not want crack anymore, right? Because you're so fucking delusional that you're willing to do whatever it takes, and you're like subconsciously, it's like unlimited crack. This is great. So that's how I was. I was coming after a show. I was desperate. I have a binge eating disorder that's unaddressed, and I didn't know what to do. And I was like, unlimited food sounds fucking unreal, and it's supposed to help my binge eating disorder. So yeah, I got fucking hooked in the loop after being someone who's been training for 5 years and doing 2 fucking bodybuilding shows. I still got fucking fell for it. So I can't imagine how many people are fucking, trying this shit, thinking it's gonna fucking help.
So what advice would you give to someone that's actually entering their first show?
Okay, you need to do extensive research on your body and really fucking figure out what your caloric maintenance is. You really need to know your shit. You need to give yourself an ample amount of time. Okay, like 16 weeks is a good amount. Between 12 and 16, do not do fucking less than 12 weeks. You are not going to fucking make it. You need to give yourself
at least 6 months if you're the first show. Come on.
Yeah, you like the more time, the better that you can give yourself. General people do 16 weeks, which is 4 months, but like you need to give yourself a lot of fucking time. So that's 2 things. And the slower you do it, the better. So don't try to fucking speed run through it. Also, get a coach if you can. Your coach will, it's not only holding you accountable, but it's kind of pulling you back or pushing you more. Like,
well, they have the knowledge, bro. It's like
and they know what they're doing.
Experience, like Whether it's an athlete like Michael Jordan, Kobe, it doesn't matter. Every top athlete, even every top business person, they all had a coach at one point.
Yeah.
Because they typically hire people that are in the, well, from a business standpoint, you normally hire people that are in a position that you want to accomplish or go after, right? If you're an athlete, you're going to hire people that have worked with other people that have been where you want. Like, I mean, if you're LeBron James, you can't hire LeBron James to train you, right? But they're fast tracking the results because they've already done the guesswork on themselves, or they've done the guesswork with other clients.
Yeah, and you need it's just having someone to look on an outside perspective, like, because when you're in it, you like dissociate a little bit. You're not really like, you can't really view yourself from an outside perspective. You like it's like kind of impossible.
It's bias.
Yeah, so you have to have someone else being like, hey, dude, like, you whatever, you're going a little too hard, or you're not fucking doing enough cardio, or maybe like whatever the case is, just like having someone to like really like fucking reel you in and being like, hey bro, this is the truth and this is like XYZ, you need to be doing this shit. Getting a coach is extremely important. Going slowly, giving yourself enough time, and really knowing your caloric maintenance and not overshooting. Like, it's better for you to undershoot and do like a smaller calorie deficit over like 6-month time frame, like Puffy was saying, versus like just aiming for the stars and be like, I want to get this done as fast as fucking possible. Like, you will fucking crash and burn. Another thing is having a plan after your show. So
you don't binge eat.
Exactly. So I fucked up after my first show. There was no fucking plan. I was like, I'll figure it out.
I'll go all in.
Well, yeah. See, you have to have a plan. Like, you have to, even if it's something as simple as like, all right, that weekend I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Monday I'm gonna meet with my coach and we're gonna figure it out, like a plan of what I should be eating, how I should be training, what I should be doing. You have to have a plan. If you have no plan, again, you will fucking crash and burn, because you're nothing's stopping you from being like, okay, my show's over, you know, because the whole prep, you're like, I can't eat this because I have a competition coming up. I can't do this, I have a competition coming up. I gotta do my cardio, I have my competition coming up. All of a sudden, no more competition. Oh, I probably shouldn't have another slice of chocolate cake because that. Oh wait, there's no competition coming up.
Yeah, there's nothing holding you accountable.
Hold on, like, why can't I?
Yeah.
Should I do my cardio? Well, there's no competition coming up.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't do my cardio, you know, like, so having a plan will really like help with that. And man, you really, the biggest fucking thing, calorie deficit through cardiovascular exercise is superior to calorie deficit with eating less food. So
I agree.
Like everyone
you burn things through expenditure versus like,
oh my god, dude,
everybody fucks this up.
Everybody fucks this up, and it's like, you would not believe the amount of science that is back in this fucking shit.
Well, it's also
up.
like, bro, your point case, like, you don't want to go to bed hungry. Right?
Yeah. Why would you want to feel like shit? Just work a little fucking harder and just do your fucking cardio. Spend it, whatever. Listen, if you have a time constraint because you work fucking 12 hours a day and you have kids and whatnot, okay, then yeah, maybe you can't spend another hour doing cardio or 45 minutes doing cardio. Completely different story. But if you have the time, do your fucking cardio. And I also don't believe in this whole fucking fat burning zone static cardio bullshit. I think it's a bunch of fucking nonsense. And
well, it depends on what intensity the heart rate's at. Obviously.
Yes. So the literature, I mean, I'm a big advocate for metabolic resistance training and high intensity interval training, because it shows that getting your heart rate up to extreme highs and then dropping it low is going to influence the metabolism a lot more than it is just keeping at this kind of like steady state.
But the only issue with HIIT is that a lot of people can't do it effectively.
Yeah, if you can't do it.
So then that's why like miss or like medium intensity steady state I think is like the best for majority of people. But if they're at a higher advanced level, then HIIT is probably better.
Yeah, if you can do HIIT and you can do like an MRT based training, you're going to burn a lot more. I mean, people don't really think about like EPOC, or the amount of hormones that are released during your exercise, during high intensity exercise, which kind of goes into when I was talking to you about like fat browning or irisin levels, which again is like a pretty new study. But there's your body releases all these hormones when it's like, when the heart rate gets so high and you're doing this like intense exercises and you are having this caloric afterburn way after your workout is done. You're still burning calories. So unfortunately, a lot of people really look at it as like, all right, the elliptical says I burn 300 calories.
It's a load of shit.
know that, like, dude, fucking come on, be smarter.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
The only time where I actually think it's accurate is if you put your height, your age, and your weight in, and then it's like a Stairmaster. Because, like, it's with it, like, bro, if you're going on the Stairmaster for an hour and you burn 500 calories, yeah, like, but you literally exercise for an entire hour.
Yeah,
right?
it's a long time.
And that's 500 fucking calories. And that's, like, not easy because, like, a lot of people most can't do that.
So, I mean, you have to just, I think if you're going to do cardio, I think the higher intensity, the better. And I think a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, like steady state, but then they're like not really pushing themselves as hard, or they're like holding
Steady state,
on.
It works if it's like it's just a bunch of steps, right? But then it gets to a certain point where it's like you're in such a low deficit that, like, or in order to create the deficit, you're gonna have to walk like 20,000 fucking steps a day.
Yeah,
which is almost equivalent to walking like 4 hours consecutively. It's a lot.
So like for me, it was like, all right, I could do steady state for like a fucking hour, or I could do a 30-minute hit training session.
Easier.
I prefer the 30-minute hit training session. Yeah, is it harder? Yeah, it's fucking harder. Does it suck sometimes? Yeah, it kind of does. But you can find ways to make it fun. I started going to, so my gym back in Boston does spin classes for free. It's me and a bunch of fucking moms.
Hey,
it's fucking sick. But yeah, like I just have this chick is just fucking yelling at me like, turn up the intensity, go up this. Yeah,
you can do it.
We're sweating today, Wednesday. But yo, it kicked my fucking ass for 45 minutes, bro. I was fucking drenched and it was hard, but I was like, I look at my my Apple Watch and like whatever, all this shit, and I'm trying to see like where my heart rate is and like doing, not only seeing what like the Apple Watch has, but like kind of doing the math a little bit on my own. And I'm like, holy fuck, bro, I burned like between 400 and 500 calories in 45 minutes, but it's a high intensity interval, and like I know I'm gonna get that caloric afterburn and the oxygen consumption that's gonna occur after the workout, versus like being on a fucking watching Netflix on a Stairmaster for an hour and a half. I'd rather do the 45 minutes of spin class, and like that shit makes it go faster. Yes, doing it on your own can be kind of annoying and tough, and you know, it might be easier to just do steady state, and I think a mix of both is the most beneficial if you can do both. But definitely, like, dude, I would not want to be eating like 2,000 calories a fucking day. I'd rather eat 2,500 calories and do the fucking cardio.
No,
and you will feel so much fucking better.
So to put a bow on this, because we have been going for a while, we have to wrap this up soon. But I want to know, like, what's your biggest piece of advice for someone trying to change their life, whether academically or also physically? Because I know you went from, like, you kind of mentioned you were like kind of shit in high school to like,
yeah,
not shit. You're like gonna be a doctor, for fuck's sake. So
yeah,
it's a big shift. So
yeah, so I mean, I went from being a shitty fucking high school student that didn't really give a fuck about school. Now I'm in optometry school in Boston. I'm in my second year, hoping to be an eye doctor or an optometrist in the next 2.5 years. Also someone who, I mean, already talked about the whole fitness journey and whatnot, and now natural bodybuilder, trying to get my pro card hopefully in the next 2 years. But I think the biggest thing is you have to really find something that like you fucking enjoy, that you like doing, that it's not like a force for you. Like I go to the gym, it's not like I have to drag myself to the gym. Like I want to go to the gym. I look forward to it. And whether that be the gym or a sport, or I don't know, you like fucking running, or you like skipping rope or boxing or whatever. There's so much shit out there from a fitness perspective that you could do. People do fucking Pilates. People do fucking CrossFit. Like I think CrossFit's fucking shit, but like
CrossFit is fucking stupid.
But people fucking love it, you know? Like
okay, it's better than sitting on the couch.
It's better
watching
than doing
Netflix,
fucking nothing, right?
But it's like the literal, like if we're doing the S tier, it's like a F.
It's like a F. Yeah, I can agree with that. But
you do not need to be fucking doing pull-ups like that.
Like, dude, who gives a fuck on what the fuck is the most optimal? This is the most optimal. Do what you like.
Yes.
That's going to get you in shape. That's going to make you feel good. I hate fucking seeing these guys online that it's like, this is not optimal. You have to do what's optimal.
Full wrong.
I like fucking barbell rolls, and I'm going to fucking do them if I like them. So you can suck my fucking balls. But anyways, and that's the same with school. Like I was like, thought I wanted to go to med school or be a dentist or like all this other shit. And
why eyes? So
I got diagnosed with a kind of a rare condition called keratoconus, thinning of the cornea, in both my eyes, and they told me I was gonna go blind.
Wonderful.
And so I had to get a procedure done called collagen corneal cross-linking, and I actually got laser surgery done on my left eye. Anyways, long fucking story short,
not blind.
I was like, yo, this shit's kind of fucking cool, and it also saved my vision. Yeah. I was gonna go blind, and if it wasn't for all this shit, I would have been fucking blind, and that doesn't sound cool because then I can't look at tits, obviously.
No, that's me, Cliff. That's fantastic.
No, but so then I was like, you know what? A, this shit's cool, and B, it's like, I feel like I started with this, but just kind of being able to give back is something that is like important to me.
Change people's lives.
Yeah, I can change people's lives, and so I looked into it and I started looking, and I was like, you know what? I like this shit. And when I study it, it's like, one, I have this goal of like, I want to be this optometrist and I want to be able to help people. And like, I have this career that's like fulfilling to me, but also I can study it. And it's like, some of this shit is like kind of cool. Don't force yourself to be somebody that you're not, thinking that like you're going to, because of money or success or this or that, because you won't last. The people that in my program that wanted to just be what's the easiest way for me to be a doctor? Because optometry school is easier than med school. And there's like less hours. You don't have to do residency after. Kind of on par with dentistry school, I would say. And all the people that are like, I just want to be a fucking doctor and like this and that and make money and blah blah blah. You don't last, bro. Because when shit gets fucking hard, and when you're not sleeping and it's midterms and you have to fucking study and you're getting your ass fucking kicked and you sit down and you're like, why the fuck am I doing this to myself? This sucks. You remember in the back of your head why, and if that why is money and success and like you're done, you're gonna quit, you're not gonna fucking do it.
It's the exact same thing with fitness,
and it's the same with fitness, and it's the same with anything in your life. You have to find some shit that like you have a strong why, and that you're gonna keep pushing, like when shit when shit hits the fan, that you're not fucking you're not quitting.
Bars.
So that's pretty much
You ever
it.
watch the show on YouTube, Hot Ones? You know the chicken wing?
Yeah.
All right, bet. So you know the reference. So we got this camera. Let the people know what you got going on. Or maybe they talk about that one.
Wait, no, I don't know this reference.
Oh,
no.
really? So you never finished the episode? Okay, so basically,
not.
You know the show.
I know the show,
All
yeah.
right. Well, basically, at the end of each episode, he has a person on, and then like he said, the Sean Evans is like, okay, so now we've finished. So now we have this camera and this camera. Let the people know what we got going on. They've been plug like whatever they want.
Oh, plug?
Like they're just like, hey, like here, I have a movie coming out next.
My album's coming out.
Yeah.
No. Honestly, you can follow me on Instagram at eitan.fencer18. I will post some fitness content on there. I have a TikTok account of the same username, but I haven't been very consistent on there. So honestly, you follow, don't follow, it's up to fucking you. I will be trying to get back on my TikTok and post more on my Instagram as the time comes. It's kind of like a progress thing, but
bro, you should just post stuff and be like, yo, this is why you should do this, because I'm a doctor.
Yeah, eventually once I have that doctorate, then like I feel like there's a
level of prestige.
I'm gonna be like the Mike Israel, except I'm a real doctor and he's
not a.
No, he's a doctor, but he has like a doctor. He's a doctorate in nutrition.
That's pretty qualified to talk about most of what he's talking about, though.
No, definitely,
it's not like
for
he's
sure.
A doctor of like feet.
I'm just saying it's like people see doctorate as like a
holy trinity.
Yeah, that's one thing, but also it's like there's doctor, like you're a medical doctor, and then there's doctor, like if you get a doctorate in like physics, you're still a doctor. You know what I mean? So in his field, it's definitely fair, but people get like a vet is a doctor.
Interesting.
Is it a doctor? I don't know.
I don't know. Is
don't
it
even know.
Dog a sandwich?
Yeah. It's animals. Like, how far are we going here?
All right. Well, anyways, if you are still watching this at this time and point, thank you for having an attention span longer than a squirrel, or a peanut. I don't know. And if you can do the algorithm stuff, the YouTube subscribe and the likes and the comments, any questions you have, cool. If you're not on YouTube, well, that's weird. You're like one of 30 people. But shout out to you for listening on Spotify. Leave a review and just say that you like tits. I don't know.
Yeah.
Leave a review and that would help. Or just like be like, I appreciate my vision so I can see tits. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm gonna label the title of the podcast that. But until next time, thanks for watching and well, bye.